Hi, I'm Kim Fleet. I'm the creator of the Writer's Block Bootcamp. And today I want to talk about what to do when you're pretty bored with your writing. So let me ask you, are you a bit bored with your writing? Have you been writing the same thing for some time? Perhaps you've been working on a novel for quite a few years and you're just starting to get a bit fed up with it. Or perhaps you've been writing the same sorts of stories for quite some time. And they're just starting to feel a bit samey and you're not being challenged enough by them. And perhaps your writing is just starting to feel a bit dull and uninspired, and when it comes to your writing time then actually you don't really want to do it, and it's just because you're bored with it. Well, if this is happening to you, then don't worry, because I'm going to give you some tips for how to overcome this and to get some oomph back in your writing. So the first thing I want to recommend is that you take a break. Now, I'm not saying stop writing, because it's really easy to fall out of the writing habit. And you might say, well, I'll just stop for a couple of weeks. And then at the end of that 2 weeks, you've got to build up your writing stamina all over again. So I really don't recommend doing that. What I mean by take a break from your writing is do something different. So put that novel to one side, forget about those stories for a couple of weeks, and for a couple of weeks you're just going to do something different, just to sort of inject a bit of enthusiasm and a bit of liveliness into your writing, and hopefully get you to sort of re-engage with it and start to feel excited about your writing again. So this is my recommendation for how to get a bit more oomph into your writing and start to feel a bit more excited about it. Now, first thing you need is 3 teacups. So here I've got 1, 2 and 3. You'll see from these that I like big cups of tea, so I really like my big teacups. So you need 3 teacups. They don't have to be massive teacups, and if you don't have teacups you can use jam jars, but you need 3 vessels of some sort. You also need a pen, like so, and either some little slips of paper or some post-it notes, and I'm using these post-it notes because they've got groovy teapots on them and I just really like them. So when you've assembled your stuff, on the first sheet of paper or the first post-it note, I just want you to write a genre of writing. So I'm going to write one now. So I've written one. I don't know if you can see that, but I've written vampires. So that's one genre. And then I want you to repeat that and just write a different genre. On the next slip of paper or post-it note, so there I've written romance. And keep going until you've got 10 different writing genres. So science fiction, zombie, vampire, westerns, supernatural, whatever it is. Just write 10 different genres on 10 different slips of paper. And then what you do is you take your post-it note or slip of paper, you fold it up, and you stick it in the first of the teacups. Okay, so that's your genre teacup. Then you take the next teacup and your block of paper, and this time I want you to write down some characters. You're going to write down 10 different types of characters. So write down things like a schoolboy, or a lawyer, or an astronaut, or a 15th century gentleman, whatever it is, but just write down 10 different types of character. So I've done my first one and I've written witch. I don't know what I thought of that. And I've written another one and I've written spaceman. So you do that for 10 slips of paper or 10 post-it notes. And again, all you do is then fold them up. Get teacup number 2. Oops. And you pop them in your teacup. So this teacup now is characters. And you take teacup number 3 and your slips of paper, and this time I want you to write down a problem or a desire, something that somebody might want. So it might be to marry the boy next door. It might be to win a competition. It might be to learn to drive. It might be to be brave enough to sing. Anything like that, anything at all that somebody might want to achieve in their lives, or a problem that they have. So a parent with dementia, children leaving home, whatever it is, and you write that again, one problem or ambition on each slip of paper. So I've written my first one, which says children leaving home. And I've written another one where I've written that the character can't find a dress to wear. So these don't have to be huge earth-shaking problems, just the kind of things that people might experience. And you know the routine. You fold them up and you put them in the teacup. So that is your problems or ambitions teacup. And when it comes to your writing time, all you do is pull one post-it note out of each teacup, open them up and put those elements together in a story. This is going to be quite an interesting story. Okay, so what I've pulled out, is that it's a romantic story about a witch whose children are leaving home. So that's something sort of to brainstorm on, just do some free writing on, just see where it goes. We're not expecting this to turn into a story that you'll send out to a magazine or a competition. It's just purely to get some energy into your writing and for you to get some oomph back into your writing. So that's the writing element of things. But you can also do things to fill up your creative well, because your creativity feeds on experiences. So each week, set aside some time where you go on an artist date. And if you've read Julia Cameron, you'll know what an artist date is. It's some time on your own going to have a new experience somewhere outside the house. And there's all kinds of things that you can do. And the idea is that you go and experience new places and new things, and that feeds your creativity. You might write about it directly, more than likely you won't. It's just to give your brain something to work on. So what kind of things might be good artist dates? Well, things like going to a fun fair, buying a bus ticket for the whole route and just sitting on the bus to see where it goes when it does the whole circuit. You could go to an auction, make sure you sit on your hands so you don't end up buying anything unless you really, really want it. Join up for evening classes or go dancing, look around a flea market or a junk shop. There'll be museums and art galleries in your local area that you haven't got around to visiting yet. They're good for an artist date. You could ask a friend to teach you a new skill. So it could be sort of crochet or gardening or wind sailing, or how to change the spark plugs on your car, anything like that. Excuse me. Or just simply go and shop at a different supermarket. We get very set in our own ways. So just going and shopping somewhere different can really energize you. Go to a church or a place of worship that you've not been to before, or try a new hobby. All of these things will give you lots of experiences to feed your creativity. They should add to your writing energy, and hopefully within a couple of weeks you'll have a new writing routine, so a whole set of artist dates that you're keen to go on, and you won't be bored with your writing anymore. So have lots of fun with that, and I'll see you soon.